City Commissioners and County Board of Elections for April 5th, 2023. First, as chair, I will preserve the order and decorum of these meetings. Any attendant should be on notice of disruption or interference with the ordinary conduct of the meeting may be cause for removal. The Sunshine Act permits anyone attending a public meeting to object to a perceived violation at any time during the meeting. If you choose to do so, please succinctly state your objection and be reminded that the objection is not an opportunity for litigation, interrogation, or speech making. Now we'll move to public comment. Do we have anyone here today who wishes to make a public comment to the record of the commission and the board of elections? Sir, I see you raise your hand. You can stand if you don't mind. Identify yourself and where you're from if you haven't signed in already. Yes, sir. And Mr. Lynch will give you a microphone.
Good afternoon. I'm going to read from my phone. I've got my comment down if you don't mind. Esteemed city commissioners, honorable judges and deputies. My name is Marcos Lomelli. I'm the program director at SEBA, a community-based organization serving Philadelphia's Latino, immigrant, and limited English proficient communities. We want to thank your office, especially for passing in September of last year, the motion on language access expansion to triple the number of languages our communities can vote in. With this action, your office has helped ensure that democracy in Philadelphia includes every voice and strengthened our democratic process. A functioning democracy is one in which the voices of the poor, the disadvantaged, are listened to with the same attention as the wealthy and empowered. Philadelphia's Latino community is an example of a community that faces many challenges: high poverty rate, gun violence, divestment by public agencies and private businesses. In spite of these challenges, the importance of the Hispanic community to the city cannot be overstated. Growth in the Hispanic population far outpaced that of the whole city and successfully offset declines in population of other groups in the city. Between 2010 and 2020, Philadelphia's whole population grew by 5%, thanks to 25.6% growth in Hispanic population. But for Hispanic growth in the state as a whole, Pennsylvania would have lost more than one seat in the recent redistricting process, more than one congressional seat. And our growth continues to this day. 4,670 Latino Philadelphians and 21,000 Latino Pennsylvanians turn 18 every year. Latinos also fueled economic growth in recent years. Between 2010 and 2020, Hispanic buying power in Pennsylvania grew to 10th among the states with the fastest growth in Hispanic market by 112%. Hispanics are also helping Pennsylvania's vitality. As Pennsylvania's population grows older with a median age of 41 years old, the Latino population's median age is 26 years old. One of the biggest challenges facing the Latino community is a history of low voter turnout. The voter turnout of the two most Latino wards in the city in the November 2021 election was 6% and 8% respectively. As the community grows, its voter and civic engagement is not growing. Elected officials have been so bold as to proclaim, quote, "Your community does not matter as much to us because you do not vote," end quote, when we address them on issues in our neighborhoods. Citizen education and nonpartisan voter information is also important in the Latino community because it is a community that is vulnerable to and inundated with misinformation and conspiracy theories. The Washington Post recently reported that more than 70% of Spanish language misinformation has stayed online compared to 29% of English language misinformation. At SEBA, we believe that we should be lowering the barriers to voting. In particular, we think that the presence of official mail-in ballot drop boxes in the neighborhoods with historically low turnout would be a good way of lowering one of those barriers. During last November's general election, there were no official mail-in ballot drop boxes in the barrio, the portions of eastern North Philadelphia, where the majority of Latinos live. In fact, the mail-in ballot drop boxes located at Schisler Rec, Stenton Playground, and Bach Rec form a sort of Bermuda Triangle around the barrio, ensuring that Latinos would be less likely to cast their votes using this simple and effective tool. SEBA respectfully requests that the Office of the City Commissioners give serious consideration to placing one or more fixed ballot drop-off boxes in neighborhoods where a majority of residents are Latinos. A few locations that are public facilities with video surveillance already set up include the Lillian Marrero Library located at 6th and Lehigh and Kensington High School at 2051 East Cumberland Street. But if you don't like these examples, I invite you to come take a drive with me through the neighborhood. We can find other locations. We would especially like to see these boxes set up in the 72 hours leading up to the election, which research shows is when ballot drop boxes are most useful. By committing to these expansions, the Office of the City Commissioners will once again demonstrate that Philadelphia is at the national cutting edge of expanding democracy to include all eligible voters. Gracias for your attention to this matter.
Thank you very much, sir. Do we have any other public comments? Thank you very much. Judge Furlong, do we have any submitted comments?
We do. All comments that were emailed by 9:45 a.m. were shared with members of the board and the deputies at 10 a.m. have been provided to each member of the board at the beginning of the meeting. They are available to public comment table. We received one comment from Robin Aluko, and I've reviewed the comment and asked that it be moved into the record.
I also have reviewed the comment. Judge Johnson, you had an opportunity to review the comment. I have not seen it. I got that for you. Just got it. As this is not an action matter for the board today, I would ask after Judge Johnson and Judge Furlong, who both read this comment, that we receive it into the permanent record of the commission. So, all in favor? Aye. Aye. The old business, we will call Mr. Lynch to give his report.
Morning, Your Honors. So I'll read the Sunshine Report for April 5th, 2023. The County Board of Elections, as of yesterday, they have approved 71,545 vote by mail applications, which is 10,742 added from March 15th. Of those, 43,793 are paper applications and 27,752 are electronic applications. This includes the civilian, overseas, and military voters. They have a total of 1,798 applications waiting to be processed. Of those, 1,610 are paper applications and 188 are electronic applications. The County Board are currently working on multiple appeals filed regarding candidacy objections. Visit vote.phila.gov to follow our objection tracker for more details. The last day to apply for a mail-in or overseas ballot is May 9th. The staff discovered obvious facial defects on unchallenged candidate affidavits of Kali Abdul Rahman, candidate for Court of Common Pleas, Dulcia May Gray, candidate for mayor, and Jock Wambush, candidate for sheriff. On the line where they list their ward and division, in consulting with the law department, they advised that the staff, the ward, and the candidates reside in and should be put what is printed next to their candidates' names on the ballot, notwithstanding the incorrect information on the affidavit. Therefore, Kali Abdul Rahman will be listed in the 52nd ward. Dulcia May Gray will be listed in the 56th ward, and Jock Wambush will be listed in the 21st ward. The voter registration unit for the election cycle to date, they have processed 102,478 registration applications, of which 4,550 were paper. All applications are up to date. They have had 442 petitioners come to review and stipulate petitions. All petition reviews are done. They have sent 7,491 ID cards out this week. The election board, since spring training began for poll workers on March 13th, the unit has trained 904 people to date. The unit began doing makeup classes for people that couldn't attend the fall trainings of electronic poll pads. They will do these trainings every Friday until the week before the election. Last Friday, they had 53 people show up for the March, they had 53 people show up last Friday, which was March 31st. So, and that's going pretty good, trainings for the makeup trainings for the poll pads. So that'll be every Friday leading up to the election.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch. That is
Thank you.
very important work that the commission and the board of elections undertake. Thank you and the staff for their hard work.
Thank
That would conclude old business. I now move to new business. Mr. Schroman is here to present polling place relocations. Do we have anyone here for specific poll relocation issues?
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Your Honors. Thank you for having me. My name is John Scott. I am the former ward leader of the 18th Ward. One of the affected polling places on this list is also where I vote. That is number 2, the move from the Fillmore to the Fishtown Rec Center. That's not my division, but I am in the Fishtown Rec Center as of right now. I was the ward leader, and then my predecessor, the ward leader before me, we worked very hard over several years to divide the division that had a lot of high population into 2 divisions and split it along Girard Avenue, which was about a 6-lane street at that point. The idea was to have fewer people, particularly elderly people, crossing the street to vote. And so we worked very hard to split the divisions that way. And then when a polling place became available, we moved the people to a polling place so they didn't have to cross Girard Avenue. So this change undoes that. I don't believe there's any data to support that move other than the committee person convenience. However, once we did that move, we did that a year ago. After we did that move, we saw an increase in in-person turnout in that division at their new polling place at the Fillmore Music Venue. So as it stands right now, if we move them back, I believe that we are suppressing their vote because some of them will be unwilling to walk up the hill to the further away polling place that they used to be at. And we have numbers from the past that show that there is definitely an impact. A couple years ago, I have copies if you'd like them.
You can present this and we'll make this part of the record.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, on the first page, these are the last 4 elections. As you can see in red, this is Division 1819. In red, prior to the change, which is where the purple bar is in the middle, prior to the change, Division 1819 was always a laggard in terms of in-person turnout, not overall turnout, but in-person turnout. Once we made the change in the 2022 primary, the turnout got a little higher in person. And then by last year's general election, it was almost on par with the other divisions. And you can see from the percentages, it originally lagged 10% or more, and it is now only a few points behind the 2022 general. The second page is the same information, but in absolute numbers. Division 1819 is in yellow, and as you can see in the first 2 elections, it lags. By the 22 election, 22 general election, it is the 3rd place as opposed to the 4th place division. And so people have, once they've learned about the new polling place, they've actually showed up there more in person. And so it's now in line with the other divisions. And then finally, on the 3rd page, My polling place is the Fishtown Rec Center. I am a voter there. I vote in every election, of course. It currently would have approximately 1,000 people voting on a regular day. There's about 2,000 people that would be registered there. And it is about the half the size of the Fillmore polling place, the other division is in. If we move that division to the Fishtown Rec Center, my polling place goes up 30% in a smaller room than the previous polling place, which, you know, is going to be largely empty now. So there's 7 divisions total. I think it makes more sense to keep the 4 divisions in Fillmore, where they're geographically closer, where they don't have to cross a wide street, they don't have to climb up a large hill, and where the turnout numbers clearly show that the voters benefit.
Great. Thank you, sir. Members of the commission, I'd like to make a motion that we table a decision on this objection to give staff an opportunity to review and make a recommendation. And if we can get all that done, we will revisit this issue next commission meeting. So I make that motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? By unanimous
May
consent.
I ask a question?
You may. Certainly.
The increase in voter turnout in Fillmore.
Yes.
What effect does all that new construction in that area have on that turnout?
So the new construction is on the west of Frankfurt Avenue.
Give us a chance to make this up.
I'm sorry.
So most of the new construction is west of Frankfurt Avenue. And those divisions don't generally vote in person as much. They're apartment buildings, they tend to vote more by mail. The divisions on the east side of Frankfurt Avenue are mostly row house, as are the other 18. So the new construction is not filling that polling place dramatically on the west side of Frankfurt.
The Fishtown Rec Center is on.
It's on Montgomery, between Montgomery and Palmer, 1 block north of the road. So it's yeah. Thank you.
So again, thank you very much, sir. We'll take that under consideration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Palmer, you may present the polling place change propositions.
Sure. Good afternoon, judges and deputies. First, a little update on polling places. We have 356 sites surveyed in preparation for the poll pads. As of right now, this morning, 625 sites have been confirmed out of the 705 sites to be used for the May 16th election. Now I'll move to the polling place changes. In Ward 7, Division 14, there's a request to move from the storefront at 3255 North Front Street to the Cramp School at 3449 North Masser Street for voter convenience.
I move that the board accept this polling place change for Ward 7, Division 14. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
The next one, Judge, in the 18th Ward 19th Division, we're going to table that until
Yes.
next hearing, correct?
Yes. We continue.
The next four I'm going to lump together in the 21st Ward, 10th Division, 11th Division, 17th Division, and the 18th Division, going from the Kendrick Rec Center to Journeys West of 403 Rector Street. And the reason for these four changes is there's construction going on at Kendrick Rec Center.
So I would move that the board accept polling place changes for 2110, 2111, 2117, and 2118. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And second. Tom?
The next three I'm going to lump together again in the 21st Ward, 19th Division, 20th Division, and the 27th Division. Going from Bethany Lutheran Church to the Epic Church at 6035 Ridge Avenue. And the reason for this move is the church closed.
I would move that we accept the changes for the reasons stated for 2119 and 2120. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So now we- The jokes that we done before. You may proceed.
The next move will be in the 21st Ward again, the 33rd Division, moving from the Lankenau High School to the Cathedral Village Auditorium at 600 East Cathedral Road, and that is back to the original location.
I would move we accept the proposed change in the polling place at 2133. Do I hear a second? All in favor? Aye. The proposed move is accepted. You may continue.
Next move is in the 22nd Ward, the 6th Division, moving out of the Emlyn Arms Apartments to the Germantown home at 6950 Germantown Avenue, and that is moving into their own division.
I would move to accept that proposed change of polling place as stated. Do I hear a second? All in favor? Aye. May continue.
Next move, I'm going to lump three together in the 23rd Ward, the 5th Division, the 6th Division, and the 7th Division, moving out of the Frankfurt Branch Library to Frankfurt High School at 5000 Oxford Avenue, and this is due to construction at the library.
I would move that we accept the proposed changes from 2305, 2306, and 2307. All in favor? Aye. The proposed vote accepted by the board. You may continue.
Next move is in the 23rd Ward again, the 14th Division, moving out of the Baptist Worship Center to the First Preparatory Charter School, 4300 Tacony Street, and that is moving into the ward, also into the division.
I would move that we accept the proposed change of 2314 for the reasons stated. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. The motion is accepted. The change as proposed is also. We will proceed.
The next two I'm going to lump together again in the 24th Ward, the 9th Division and the 14th Division, moving out of Heavenly Hall into the Claiborne and Lewis Community Center at 1101 North 38th Street. The 9th Division would move back into its own division, and the 14th Division would move back into the ward.
I would move that we accept the proposed change of 2409 and 2414 as proposed. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. The move is accepted. And so. You may continue.
The next three I'm going to lump together in the 25th Ward, 6th Division, the 10th Division, and the 12th Division. Moving out of the Cohasset Rec Center to the Richmond Elementary School at 2944 Belgrade Street. And this is for voter convenience. They're all the divisions are east of Gold Street.
Yeah, I
Try to keep it.
So, Judge Furlong, would you like to make the motion? I would propose, I make a motion to accept the proposed changes to 2506, 2510, and 2512 as proposed. For your second. 25/6, 25/10, 25/2. Any comment? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You may continue.
Next, we will be in the 29th Ward, the 3rd Division, moving out of the Morris School to the Celestial Word Ministries at 2808 West Thompson Street, and that is back to the original location.
I would move that we accept the proposed change of 2903 for the reasons expressed by the board. Here is second.
Second.
So moved. Make it.
Next two, I'm going to lump together again in the 33rd Ward, the 1st Division and the 2nd Division, moving out of the Juliet Youth Club to the Juliet Park Academy at 801 East Hunting Park Avenue. That is for voter convenience.
I would move that we accept the proposed changes to 3301 and 3302 for the reasons stated. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor? Any further discussion?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, and again, we appreciate the hard work of staff in preparing these presentations. All right, let me follow up. I want to make sure the record is clear that we have. I would make a motion for 2127 to be accepted as proposed by the 21st Ward 27. Number 9. Right. Just double check. Seconded and moved. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Sherman. And do we have any additional agenda items that have been added to the agenda? Judge Furlong, do you have any additions to the agenda? Judge Johnson, do you have any additions? Yes, sir. Having said that, I make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? We will remain until we call the chair.